Hi everyone. Hi. How you doing today? How was your day today? The middle of the week, isn't it? Yes, it's the middle of the week. Look what I'm eating. Chocolate, chocolate brownies. Small chocolate brownies. For you fuckers that don't think I don't eat chocolate. I do. I just don't abuse it. You know. And it's nice. This is my second one. And then that's it. You know. You see, in front of you, in front of you, in here, is a person that has been addicted to many things: shoes, sex, drugs. No, the heavy drugs, but you know. And she just got liberated. Yeah, she still smokes her cigarette. You know, it's more like I wouldn't say it's addiction, because when I'm in college, I don't even take cigarettes with me nowadays. I have a cigarette in the morning before I go to college, and then I only have a cigarette when I come back to college, which is 3:30, depends what day. Everything in moderation. Okay, it doesn't mean the bad things need to do in moderation. Bad things you should avoid at any cost. You know what is bad. You don't need a book or any books to tell you what's bad. If you are spiritual, inclined to do what is right, what you know in your heart what is bad. Okay? You're not a child. And this here is coffee, Colombia coffee. You see, there are some coffee now that says Arabic coffee. Don't get me wrong, but show me where in Arabia they can grow coffee. Just show me, okay? Show me anywhere in Arabia where there's a coffee plantation, okay? So let's not go there, okay? Let's not go into the what they call slaves master. Now, because they talking about the slave trade of the Arabs. So let's not even go there, because my so-called fiance slash friend is kind of Arabic. Nah? So why do I say that my channel is more for religion people? You see, I don't have nothing to say to an atheist, because many atheists, they have this ideology that the universe is just a random, chaotic design piece of crap, and we are here to just do whatever pleases us. Let's not go there. But when I say my channel is more inclined to religion, is because religion people looks like to me that they are looking a way to connect with the supreme primordial force. That's why some of many of you engage in this dogma which we call religion. That's right. For 6 years, it's going to be 7 now, I Yes, after that, I still went to the church a few times, but I couldn't really connect with the energy. I went more for the companionship, for the interaction, not because I believe 100% what they say. And the plus, I used to be extremely, you know, um, annoying when they came with a bucket of money. Okay, I don't know how the creator of nature, ocean, dolphins, shark, whales, tiger, lion needs my money. And then they say, no, the money is to maintain the building. We have to pay for this. And many people who are in a hierarchy of religion, they don't walk to the church. They have their private car. Many of them even have private aeroplane. Oh my goodness. When are you ever going to get a private aeroplane? Fake people. Some of you cannot even make until the end of the month. But I still believe that this God of yours is now is wanting that 10% of yours, and never mind other religions that believe that slaughtering a poor innocent animal is going to bring them close to Yahweh, the Most High. Really? And then these people have had the audacity to diagnose me with bipolar disorder. Let's drink coffee, Zilda. Let's drink coffee. Look, I would like to address you more because perhaps I don't blame the atheists to be what, I was meditating the other day, just silence. I silence my mind and I, take my time. So I was just thinking, meditating, connecting with the power of the universe, connecting to Mama. And then I said to myself, this answer came to me. Perhaps the atheists, they are more developed in the spiritual path than religion and even spiritual people, because they have went through all this process. Now that in this physical reality which they are experiencing, they don't need to believe in a universe or the creator or anything like that, because they have already experienced this part of their lives, in other physical reality. So now they are just here really to have fun. I have nothing against atheists, but then again, when the atheists believe in this story of evolution, no, in my spirit, because I have had so many supernatural experience, I cannot just believe the physical reality, which they also they believe, physical existence, nothing else, matter, no. So I cannot sympathize with them 100%, but perhaps they don't have this need, And plus, I learned that from somebody I knew. This person has transit to another realm. He was a navy from the British Royal Navy, and he said, there is not an atheist in a sinking boat. Okay, he said that. Okay, and I guess he was saying that through his own experience, because me and his wife were discussing God, and he wasn't really a truly religion belief person, but he came with this um, phrase: there is not an atheist in a sinking, ship or boat or whatever you call, So I thought that's kind of a beautiful way to put it, because yeah, we let's go to face beautiful people. We are only here and we are only here enjoying life. So the least we wanted to face, not me so much, okay, but I do things as well. Yeah, if I tell you that I'm not completely scared of death, I would be kind of lying to my teeth. But then again, it's not the experience of transit, because I know where I'm going anyway. But it's the idea of that, I might have to be in a bed seat for a while, which is not going to happen, of course not, you know. But yes, like any physical, any spiritual being experience this physical reality is going to have these thoughts, because it's everywhere you go. For instance, today I was in town. I went to town today because I had to do some business there. And of course, they had a man shouting. And funny enough, the first, when I was passing, he said, Christ was sacrificed for your sins. And tell me, what are you doing with your sins? And then the other one tried to give me a leaflet. I have to embrace what I'm saying to you. I cannot be a hypocrite. Sometimes as a politeness kicks in, I accept the leaflet and I even read. But today, it's not like I was rude, but I wasn't really interested. So I just say to him, no, I don't need this leaflet. Because first of all, what he's saying is nonsense. Because that's what has been taught to us, that someone has to sacrifice themselves in order for you to have a good life. Why don't you sacrifice yourself for your own selves? Why somebody has to die in some cross, in some shit, in some, your mom has to have two jobs, to put you through school, college, university. Why don't you help your mom? I was working at the age of 9 years old. Of course, now with the psychotic system, children should be children. That's why the new generation is, God help us. And I'm saying that literally, God help us with the new generation. I have seen them, Hey, when I say things, I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying what I see. Like I said, you do your bit, I do my bit. But they are like this. Oh, sorry. They don't even see where they are going. The new generation. So that's the hands our planet Earth is going to pull with it. So that's why I say that I like to address the religion sect, because you see, they cannot debate me. For instance, in your scripture, there is a part in the scripture that Jesus going to the Mount of Sinai, I don't know where, and he's talking to three people just before he is presumably put to death. And the apostle Paul, no, the apostle Peter and John, anyway, there were some people with him and they recognized the other people, which looks like the messenger Elijah, somebody and somebody. These people had already transit from physical realm to spiritual realm. So therefore it shows reincarnation. So Jesus wasn't your first to reincarnate a AKI, IN, resuscitate from life, because he was talking to somebody who was supposedly to be dead hundreds and hundreds years before him himself. So reincarnation is in your Bible, just in the story of Lazarus. It's funny though. They have stopped coming to my house, but usually they used to come to my house. You know, and the Jehovah Witness. Actually, I have a cousin. She's a Jehovah Witness. You know, and this cousin, let's leave her to the side. Anyway, she's a Jehovah Witness now. Okay. So they stop when they come in. I invite them to come to my house. I ask them if they like some coffee, some tea. Of course, they say no. And they start talking to God. I even studied with the Jehovah Witness back in 2007. So, they might come now because I'm talking about them, you know what I mean? But hey, I like to discuss with them. It's fun. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. When I'm angry here, saying this, that, listen, yeah, but don't take everything to your heart. It's just me expressing my views, okay? We don't need anything, but we must, okay, respect every individual, even the evil fuckers that I talk about so much, respect people, okay? Of course, if somebody disrespectful towards you, you don't have to retaliate, And trust me, sometimes I do, because it's hard if somebody is disrespectful towards you, isn't it? The first thing you want is to be disrespectful towards them. But advice to you is not because you have to give your other cheek. No, please. But do engage. You see, energy is very, very, very expensive nowadays, isn't it? That's why you pay for electricity in your house. We need electricity now for everything. So especially in the West countries, we need electricity, because of the cold and the things. If you live in a hot country, you need electricity, but not that much. Trust me, I lived without electricity before. I did. Okay, I did back in Brazil. So when I talk about things to you, it's because I have experiment. I have experience not having toilet, not having food every day, not having shoes, not having clothes, not having school every day. Thank you, God. Now I know why. What else? I have experienced many things, which you might call lack, those basic needs. But I survived. My life was okay. It wasn't, looking back now, I think it was good, it was great, because now I can, if it comes to a point when those things are going to be extinct, although I must stress out, I would rather be in a hot country, please, but I would be able to conduct myself, to be able to survive, through these difficulties of physical reality. Perhaps that's right. In some psychology, people say that we choose your path. Of course, I believe in that in some percentage, because I don't believe a little baby, asked to be raped by their mothers, their fathers, their uncles. No, I don't believe that. That's evil, okay? Remember, free will. Free will. Your baby hasn't got free will yet. She is small. She's learning from you. Of course, she's going to press your buttons. That's when you step in and guide her, politely, with plenty of unconditional love. Okay? But according to some psychology, some ideology, before our souls incarnated this physical realm, we choose our destiny, Of course, it's for some to believe. I have a little bit of a question on that. I'm not saying it's not true, but I have my questions on that. You know what I mean? Because how can you determine your destiny at the same time you have free will? This is a little bit a complex theory, isn't it? Because if you have already determined what you shit you gotta go through life, there's no point of the creator to give it to you free will. There is no choice. So it's something that you could look as vague. It's an ideology that is vague, like the theory of the monkeys. You know, but like many of you beautiful people, and please forgive me when I am this and that, must be the bipolar. Anyways, but I do take the medication, okay? So, anyways, beautiful people, okay? We are learning. I learn with you. I learn so much with you, and you learn from me. I learn from others. I even learn from my children, you know, so much from my children. I mean, pardon me, beautiful people. The last 4 years, I have learned so much with my children. You know, like when I was in the abusive relationship with their dad, I learned how to be an asshole. I was never an asshole. Now I can be a fucking asshole. Yeah, I can be the biggest asshole ever. I can be the queen of the assholes. Because I wasn't exposed to asshole. Sorry, I should correct myself. I was a little bit as I was growing up, with, even in my own family, the way some of them behave. But I thought enough of it, as a child, you think it's a normal. You think every family behave like that. But as you interact with other families, friends, and things like that, you don't see no everybody behave like that. And then I got engaged, got married, and then he was a big asshole, but I still maintained my dignity. And then I got engaged again, and he was even bigger than the asshole before. And then I thought, that's it. Now I'm going to maintain a balance. I'm going to be less soft, and also as well the same, at the other coin, at the other side, If somebody treats me with dignity, respect, kindness, I'm going to do. But if somebody treats me as an asshole, I'm going to treat them as an asshole, but not in an assholic way. I'm just not to give them. I'm just not going to give them my attention, energy. Therefore, that's it. The interaction will end there. Anyway, so we are all learning. It's not my right to come over here and blah, 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 but I'm just expressing myself. Because you see, I have got a purpose in life. My purpose is to save many of you as I can. Not because I have a Jesus Christ complex. By the way, I did experience that at some point in my life when I was dealing with the evangelist movement. Not criticize them, by the way. But now I just have the Zilda the goddess complex, because I realized that if it is being, which is the universe, the stars, the galaxy, created me, I am just like her. I am a part of her. Therefore makes me divine. Simple. When a dog has a puppy, the puppies are going to be just like a dog. Dogs do not have kittens. So that's why I think I'm divine, and I'm bloody divine. By the way, this question has been put into me by a psychiatrist. He said to me, "Do you think you have got a special power?" And I said, "What do you mean?" I played stupid, but I jumped from the window upstairs and I landed like a cat. I didn't even break a nail. So if I have got a special power or not, hey, I don't know. But I jump. I jump. I didn't fall, try to commit suicide like they wrote in the paper. I jump. I was scared and I was afraid and I knew they wanted to arrest me. So how many meters? Hold on, this is must be 6, 7 foot, something like that. And then with I don't know how meters. I have to learn about that, to be honest. So I just jump, and do you know? I learn like a cat, and I had no shoes because I like to have bare feet. And then I just ran towards the woods, and I just walked towards the woods, walk, and then I said I'm going to this friend's house, and then she gave me a tablet to calm me down, and she spoke to me, and they came home and they slept. And that was the first year they got me to be section. But they read in the records that I trying to commit suicide from the window. Please focus. By the way, I did try to commit suicide much more after that, which was the car suicide, but it wasn't even a suicide. Actually, I was trying to commit suicide and also killing another person. Yes, I could be a psychopath, yes, because I thought if I go to hell, I'll take you with me, you bastard. But I didn't succeed, and I ended up paying £500 to this individual. What a suicide fucking shit. And by the way, £650 plus 250, £800, and what else? And I lost my driving license. So it was a very lousy suicide. You see, when I tried to commit suicide, they told me that I just lost my driving license for drunk and driving. When I jumped from the window, running away from them, they told me that I was committing suicide. You can win, can you? You can. I can, because I know this shit. You know what I mean? I have been around for a long time. Come on, I am what people call streetwise. I bless them. So, get your act straight, Get engaged into spirituality. Find your truth. Nobody does this, no one in this day and age is going to sacrifice anything for your asses. Even today I saw this woman on a YouTube with 2 black eyes, loads of scratch on the neck, and the bruises all over because her a little boy, well, not a little boy, but her child, beat the sheet out of her, her son, and it's not something new. People has been doing that for so long, the woman looked like she has been robbed and raped of all sorts, and she said that he didn't just do that, he also smashed everything that she had around the house, the poor woman, but she did manage to cut him with some sharp stuff, so, and she said that she did nothing but sacrifice herself to him, and she said that many people said to her, you are really soft. Oh, sorry about that. You are really soft with this boy. You see, there is a balance in everything, So, now, sorry I'm on the street this morning. I do not believe anybody needs to sacrifice anything for me, just like I don't believe I have to sacrifice anything to anybody. The only sacrifice I have to do is for myself, really. For instance, some things you have to do right, okay? But you have to put a proportion of what is it? Of reason, discernment there, because anybody can turn against you. Your parents, your relatives, pardon me, your neighbors, your friends, your children, your partner. For instance, I have got this partner of mine. yeah, I care for him, but I couldn't really give too much of a bother if things doesn't work out between us, because I learned that I have got to preserve myself first, you know, and loving myself is primordial more than loving others, and I do love my children as well. Don't get me wrong, and I could do very much for them, but to sacrifice something, as strongly as my life, is it really worth in this day and age, to anybody nowadays, you know? I always dwell in this, but this is a very good question. Apparently, apparently, Christ fed 5,000 people. But no, nonetheless, he died by himself with only a few people around the cross. Where's the 5,000 people that he fed? I mean, 5,000 people could kick the Romans, asses off. 5,000. You know what 5,000 is, people? It's quite a lot. You know, they could get like into a fight and maybe kill a few Romans, for Christ. But no, at the butt of the cross, there was only his mom, the two Marys or another Mary, and somebody else, a man. Even Peter wasn't there. That's how Peter loved Christ so much. So, you want to tell me that you have a best friend? Yeah, I tell you what. Tell me your best friend's address and the name and everything. And then I will go there and say, look, fuck her in the house. I will give you $25 billion. I'm sure your best friend is going to do that herself. Okay? Watch it, people. I'm laughing here, but watch it. Preserve yourselves. Love people conditionally. Make sure that you love yourselves first. Because we are living this day and age where people are sellable. People are sellable for the loaf of bread. I have seen all sorts. I have seen people drinking with people just so they could get drunk. It happened to me. Do you know how many times I have been drugged? I don't know if I have been raped, but thank you God, I don't remember that. But I have been drugged, I think it was 11 times. Just having a drink, there was my drinking here. I sip it, next thing, I don't even know what happened. You see? Do I still drink? Yeah, but I don't know what I do now. I bring the alcohol to my house, safe, where I know if I get too much, I'm safe in the house. Okay, from now on, it's going to be very, very difficult for me to have a drink with another person, okay, because I have seen evil. Okay, I have seen how evil conduct itself. Okay, so if I have to have a drink, let's say I really fancy getting, pissed, like the English says, I will bring my drink to my house. So if I am pissed in my house, I'm safe. There's only the cat there, and my partner is hardly here anyway, so it's fine. You know what I mean? I don't even have to tell him because, like I said, I care for him, I like him, but I also am very aware of him. He's beautiful. It's nothing to do with him. It's to do with me, okay? So he's the way he is and I'm the way I am. That's what we should do with people, okay? Put boundaries. Boundaries, Let's go to have a cigarette. So be wise, find your spiritual path. See the way you like to connect more with Mother Nature. Don't worry too much about this God thing that I say and that, blah, blah, blah. Just concentrate and find your spiritual path. If your spiritual path is going to walk in the woods, go take your dog if you have got a dog. You see, I miss going to the woods, I miss going to the woods. I avoid going by myself because not because I'm scared of so much, but it's not very excited to go by yourself. It's nice when you have somebody there with you. It's really gratificante. It's really enjoyable, But there are other paths that I take to go, And if it's your spiritual path is spend the afternoon on the beach, uh, just watching the sea and the waves, just find it, meditate, eat healthy, you don't have always to get engaging in certain dogma, which people told you that you must do in order to be safe. Be good to yourself, be good to others, be good most to yourself, because you see, when you start being good to yourself, you're going to attract people that also want to be good to themselves and therefore to others as well. What they call now the law of attraction, which is really the law of correspondence, the law of cause and effect. I am a goddess. Yes, I'm a bloody goddess. But I'm also in a learning process, because I experience physical reality, So there are some things that I still yet to experience and therefore to learn, Life is wonderful, people. Life is like in that book I show you. Is it in here? That book Kabbalion, talks about the weather, the rhythm of the universe. The universe works in rhythm. So it goes like this, boom, 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 ups and down, left, right, But in the book says that when the universe go up and then come back down, and you find yourself going through a bad patch, you will have the tools to deal with the situation, because the universe is so intelligent that the universe is no, God, let's go to call God. She won't give to you, like the scripture says, more than you can carry, and it's like exam, when people say, oh, I have exam, blah, blah. It has already given to you the subject that you have to study. You just have to revise. Usually the teacher has already told you everything that's going to be an exam. So it's up to you to sit your asses one day and then just go through the whole process and then revise. So don't, I am just like some of you, sometimes I think, life. No. She has already shown me the answers. It's in there in my book, in my file, in my schooling file. I just have to find the answers. So that's the universe. The universe is not chaotic. It's not crazy. It's not bipolar. Just like I'm not, Bipolar was created what, in the 1500? Did you know in the past women was put in mental institution only for getting pregnant, unmarried? Yeah, you know that. There was loads of places all over the world with women there that has been there for so long. I even watched a movie that I cried so much. Some women were there because they got pregnant outside of marriage lock. This universe is governed by crazy men, and the crazy women as well. There's some crazy women behind the show as well. I have met some. So discipline yourselves, Not everybody is in here to experience, the universe, therefore, God, the supreme primordial force, the way some people are. Now, so I apologize to some of you, but I have to point out your inconsistency in your own books. Because nobody's believing this nonsense anymore. The only people that believe in that is because they're scared of hell, of Satan, and therefore burning in hell. You know, they have some guilty. If you don't have any guilt in it, for instance, this process I'm going through, you know the process I'm going through. I have videos in here, you know. I don't feel any fear. You know, I felt stressed, I felt harassed, I felt abused, I felt there was a little bit of discrimination, racism, whatever you want to call. But looking back now, I thought I shouldn't feel anything because I'm not really guilty. I know exactly what happened, you know. So this is your weapon, clear consciousness. Nobody can beat a person with clear consciousness. They might try, but they don't always succeed. And like I said, the hospitals is full of people sick that they question themselves, why am I in this bed? Well, can you look at yourself? What did you do 10 years ago? 20 years ago? 50 years ago? You know? There's divine laws everywhere in the universe. So, you know. I had some of you say, so why would I recognize bipolar? Because at some point I was an asshole. I didn't conduct myself properly. I let the trap get into me. You know, instead of disarm the trap when I saw the trap there. You know. Now I know how to behave with this diagnostic. You know. I know they need just a slip of mine. They just need me to slip a little bit to catch me. But I won't give them this opportunity because I know how to deal with these entities now. I know how they operate. They operate in fear. There are two forces in the universe, two energy, fear and the love. Sorry for saying that. I should say that. You know, so if you are vibrating love, you know, what people call love, you know, which is really peace, you know, nobody can get to you. You can go in your way and do your own business. And be happy. Nothing is going to stop you of being happy. I've seen people happy with nothing. I've been to some places that people have nothing, not even teeth, and they have a smile in their faces. And they give you a cup of coffee, which is not even coffee. You know, it's like dirty water, but they have this ability to share with you, you know, with genuine giving, you know, ability. There's some people, very good people out there. You know, it's just sometimes, like many of us, I see the evil, but there are some amazing people. You know, people that should be in a pedestal. You know, even bigger than Jesus himself. You know, or Buddha, or Allah, or whatever entity. Cigarette. Oh. So let's all be kind to one another and experience life to the fullest. We have got so much to look for, you know. Yeah, some people say the world is getting bad. You know, for some people it's getting bad because they can't leave this bad, you know, thoughts, vibration, you know, situation. You know, I'm reading a book now that is learning. It's a fiction. I did tell myself that I was going to avoid reading fiction, but I read this book many years ago, many years ago, and it just happened on Monday. You know, I was having one of those days that some people have, you know, and I thought I'm going to read a book. So I got to my bookcase and I grabbed this book. It's a child book, by the way, but it's a award-winning 1985. It's a award-winning book of Australia, something like that. And I'm learning from the book, a child book, children book, you know. And I'm learning so much. We learn from everything in life. Pay attention to the signs. The universe is so intelligent. The universe is amazing, beautiful. We have got so much to offer to this universe, just like she has got so much to give to us. Sometimes we don't even have to ask. We just have to think. Remember, the universe is mental, telepathic. You know. My first experience in the evangelist movement was with my mom. And she took me to this church. I was very small. I must be very small, very small. And honestly, these people started praying like they do loud and blah, blah, blah. Suddenly, I felt really uncomfortable, and I going like this with my mom's dress, and my mom, shh, quiet. My mom was beautiful, by the way. So, it wasn't her fault. She was just looking for the right path as well, like we all do. And I thought, when these loud voices are going to stop? I was like, I was small. I was already knew that was the right way to communicate with God. Yes, if you want to communicate with God loud, just go ahead. It's your path. It's not everybody's path. But I thought, I don't think the universe needs all this shouting. I'm sure the universe knows already. It's apparently, it says in the books, God already knows what is in your heart. Blah, 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 blah. So before you open your mouth, she already knows. So, so we must start to realize that responsibility is our birthright to ourselves and to others as well, more unfortunately than us, you know. So let's go to engage into interact with each other with respect, you know, and that goes to everybody, even myself. Forgive me if I come across too radical. It's just sometimes the truth has to be said, and it's very common for some astrologers to say that Sagittarians are blur, too honest for their own good. I guess that's one of my negative traits. I'm trying to address that, and with so much love for some of you. Namaste.